What is up, my B-Boss baddies and my Batman fellas? It is your girl Bosana and welcome B-Boss Army. So as you guys can tell by the title, today I got some tricks for you guys. So you guys been wanting more texting videos, as I said to you guys, and as promised, I'm back with some more. So there's not much more I really want to say aside from, of course, give me a big thumbs up, especially if you really want more of these texting videos. I was going to say questions, but we're going to be talking about questions with the first thing. Stay tuned. So give this video a big thumbs up if you do want a part 3, 4. I don't know where we're at now because there's so many to talk about, so many things to talk about. And last thing, of course, is check out my other channels. I got 2, do advice, life advice to be exact, and also dating on it, and a whole lot of other stuff. All right, links down below. Let's go ahead and get started right into the video. I don't know why I wanted to just, it's Friday, you guys. Hey, okay, so first things first on my list is asking questions. Now, this is an amazing trick for you guys to get that fast response back, because when you go ahead and ask her these questions, guess what? We're not going to act like a woman is not sitting on her phone. We're not going to act like she's not going down her timeline comparing herself to another girl, another hoe. Ooh, I said it, my bad. Don't really mean to say that word. Nah, but you guys, listen. So this is a great way to basically get her to text you back quickly, because when a woman sees that phone, like I said, sees that text, she is on her phone constantly. And that's just fact. So I'm saying, let's not act like that, and let's not act like these women don't know that they are on that phone. Let's not act like they're not the ones using their phone. So when they see that message that you sent pop up, and it's going to be a question of, oh, okay, your day is good, question mark, or, I don't like to really use the traditional, how are you and stuff like that, because I feel like sometimes girls, and it happens a lot, they will kind of just, put you in that category. It happened with me a lot. I know that, and I know a few girls, but overall, I would assume that, sometimes they put you in that category because when they are texting other guys, think about it. How many guys are just going to be like, let me just shoot the how are you, and not kind of think like, well, the guys are probably all doing that. Now, I know it's traditional and it's normal, but that's kind of how you stand out. And also, that's a different way you can get a quick response. I didn't even write that down, but that's an extra point where you guys can say something different instead of the typical, hey, how are you? Kind of just twist up the words. You see how I just said, oh, how's your day going? Or your day's been good is actually better, because how your day going? I've heard that one. How's your day going? Yeah. So we can go back to this point and say that when she sees that text, she's forced to think of an answer. And that's because naturally we just do that. When you see a text and it's a question, even when you just see something that is a question, oftentimes you just kind of say, well, no, or I'm not feeling that. And already what girls like to do, and they normally do that as well, because, the feelings that they have, emotional beings by nature, they will have a reaction instantly, because they don't just look at things and kind of say, well, I don't feel no ways, because naturally they will feel a way. So when you send a text, even if it's not a question, you do have a lower chance where it's like she looks at it in her head, she had the response already. But a question is more of a guarantee, because now you're actually asking for her to think about something. So now when you have a girl, go ahead and think like, hey, well, he just asked me, how's your day, or not how's your day going? Which one did I say? Y'all remember? Is your day going well, or your day going good? Right? You can switch it up like I said. So now when you ask her that, she's thinking, well, man, my day's been awful, or I'm just so tired. Like whatever she's feeling, those feelings come up, they rise, right? Or maybe she is excited. It might be Friday night. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm going out tonight. He's asking me how my day went. Well, I'm about to go see that guy tonight, and it's not even you, but because you asked her, she still thought about something. And so the better thing about all that is that sometimes it could be that little worry of, is it going to be a good reaction? But who cares? Because sometimes girls just already be like, hey, well, I'm going to treat him like this, automatically disrespect you sometimes, right? So if it's going to be the worry of, if it's going to be a bad response, you don't have to worry about that. You just have to know that now she just thought about you because of the question that you asked. Now, the whole I'm going to wait it out, it happens all the time, right? Girls will be like, well, I'm just going to wait a few more seconds, or not seconds, a few more hours. I'm just going to wait until I go do this little thing. And they only do that a lot of these times just so they can go ahead and make you wait, right? And it's also to have the upper hand. right? Girls know what they're doing when they're controlling, when they text you back, when they wait a little bit. And those are the type of tricks that you guys can do as well. But you can do it in your own way as well. You don't have to copy and paste what a girl is doing. And better yet, you don't really have to do that all the time, because sometimes girls will start feeling that whole, well, okay, I'm going to just match his energy. You get what I'm saying? So to go ahead and wrap up with this point, asking questions, don't ask too much of complicated questions. Don't ask too much questions of, like the politic questions, religion, like those ones you really don't want to get into, because it could easily erupt a conversation where you don't want, leading to like a huge argument where it's like, well, actually I am this type of religion, whatever she is. And then you're not that, you're the opposite. And so now it's like, well, I don't even want to deal with you. Or you know what, they might make a comment of all people that are like this type of religion are this way, right? And those are the things that just kind of end and close the door right away. Of course, it's important. If there's a woman that cares about a religion so much and she brings it up, so be it, right? And if that's how you are, that's how it's going to be. That's harder, of course, right? But that's what it's going to be, because you want to make that clear. That's cool. That's your expectations. You want to be with somebody that's like you, okay? Or has the same religion. But you don't have to go ahead and ask any questions that need to be unnecessary questions. So if religion's important to you, bring that up, whatever. That's what you want to do, right? But if you want to go ahead and ask questions that are deeper, such as, well, I can't think of nothing off the bat, but just to think of something, I'm just going to give you something a little wild, okay? But if you go ask a question of how many guys have you with and how many times, etc., already that question is harsh. A lot of girls, even though you might get comfortable with them, they'll feel like, I'm not even going to tell you the truth. They don't even end up telling you the truth regardless most times, right? But that's the case. So just stay away from questions that can cause arguments or have where people will want to be very entitled, and also just kind of just give minimum basic questions. Save those bigger questions for when you actually talk, so you have less of a chance of getting a bad reaction through texting, and it's only through texting, so you don't really know what they mean. So that bad reaction is really just in your head or in hers. Okay, next thing on my list is texting less days, less response. So this one's pretty simple. This one's really just to take her flexibility away. So when you want a quicker response from a woman, if you take away her flexibility by giving her less messages, right? That means you have to text her less. And when I say less days, sometimes you have to go a few days without talking to her. So when you take that availability, the flexibility with that availability that you gave her before, you take that away. It's now like the moments when you guys do text, that's when she has to cherish it, because that doesn't happen often. So that means when it comes around, when you go ahead and go and text her the days where you're not working as many hours, the days where you do have more free time, right? Or you just send that text and say, hey, well, and this is going to go into my last point to wrap up, but you send her that text, well, you know what? I'm going to be having a long weekend and it's a business trip. I won't even be texting you. And then you go ahead and text her, maybe even on a Tuesday. Maybe you want to wait it out a bit, get her to wait even longer. And we're going to be talking more about this. If you like this topic or this conversation, keep on watching. Okay, so last thing is when you go ahead and do that with her, all you're going to be doing for her is making her feel like this man is not really going to be talking to me. This man could be talking to another woman. What is this man doing? And that's simply because women love to make assumptions when women don't have the answers right in front of them, right? Because you're not texting her, because you're somewhere else, because you're doing other things. When women know also you're surrounded possibly by other beautiful women, it really becomes very intimidating, and it causes them to make assumptions and go ahead and make the assumings of, hey, this is this and that. But it makes them think about you more at the end. And that's what you want. Okay. And so let's go. And you want it because that's going to get you more texts and replies. And then it possibly obviously can get you phone calls. Some girls will be like, you know what? We're serious. Forget all that waiting. Let me call him. Yes. Okay. So last thing on my list is letting her know you'll hit her up later on. So tomorrow, like I said, right? Or not tomorrow, after the weekend, but you can say tomorrow. And that could be also, maybe you're just going to bed. You say tomorrow, but you're not going to hit her right in the morning. I've said good night check-ins and good night checkouts are good. They're definitely good, but this is more for the girls that are going to be a little bit more serious than the other girls. The girls that are going to look at you and say, okay, you had boyfriend material, or maybe you guys had, right? Maybe the night before you went there and went home, and it's like, okay, you're just waiting for that text tomorrow. But you see what you do, and this is how you get the fast response, is that this girl is going to be waiting because you don't tell her no time. So that's the best key little trick that you have around that. If you give her that tomorrow, you can't give her no time, because when you give her that time, first of all, you have to be a man of your words, right? It doesn't mean like, hey, you have to be that rude guy that 1 second and you can't worry about all the time. Like, it happens, right? But I'm just saying, overall, with simple things like this, where, you know, you said you're going to text her at 8:30, you have to just be a man of your word. It's like kind of those simple little things, right? So you don't want to already put that pressure on you. And then lastly, the other thing is, you don't want to go ahead and make her feel that important, that, hey, I'm texting you at that time. Not only do you tell her and it's like, okay, well, I'm waiting for you, and yeah, you are going to text me that time because you do really like me like that, and you are, you know, going to text me the second you can. Not only are you making her feel that way, but for her, it's just like, well, do you have any other girl to text? Or, hey, I must be that important. So obviously it's validation on top of validation that you're adding, right? In so many different ways, but in such a small scenario. And so what else I put is wait or look forward for the next when you are busy. That's what she's gonna want. She wants you to be busy, focused. But when you wait until the next time, all you're doing is going ahead, and I put in a separate brackets. I made it a little bit complicated, but let me just read the whole thing because we're about to finish off. This last whole thing is wait or look forward for the next when you're busy. Let me say that again. Wait or look forward for next when you are busy, when you're a busy guy. So she's waiting until the next time that you're gonna be not busy. So that's when you're going to text her, because you told her, I don't know when, but I'm going to text you tomorrow, but she has to look forward to it. And then the last thing, it doesn't happen often and you get her waiting. So I basically explained everything, but I wrote it out that way to say that the whole process is to get her to, of course, be knowing that you're busy, but you're giving her this time. So I'll wrap up with that because I explained it pretty well, I feel like, in this video. I hope I helped you guys out. I have more videos coming like this. Y'all want to see it, let me know. And you guys will see me in my next video. Bye, guys.